The way that Karen treats Aaron is crazy compared to how she treats Zach, all things considered. But hey, y'all, welcome back to another review of Life with Chessie for Tyler Perry Sistas, Season 7, Episode 14. Okay, so first thing first, what did y'all think of the episode? Comment down below. Look, y'all, I was yelling and stuff 14 minutes into the episode between this fake sister circle. I said, this ain't no type of sister circle. What the freak? Between Sabrina telling Maurice about Karen's news to Karen talking crazy to Aaron. Look, the whole episode, I'm yelling at the screen and stuff. I'm like, what the freak? This is the sister circle that everybody wants for Tima to be a part of. Well, not everybody, but... Okay, so first things first, Gary and Jordan. So Jordan over here, he got a tough side. But he ain't got no bright side, because this man just told you that if you follow him again, he'll make sure that you the one they go looking for next. What? But Gary was over here trying to tell or fill Jordan's head up with lies about Andy. Yeah, I can't trust her. My life was good until she came into the picture. He ain't said that, but I'm paraphrasing. Or whatever. But he was blaming Andy and saying you can't trust her. They was trying to come after me or whatever. They didn't even tell you and all this. And he gonna go question Andy. Was he talking to Gary when he was saying how he know how to notice a scammer or spot a scammer? But yeah, he ended up asking Andy if she knows where his sister is. She was like, you said that like I know. And he's treating her poorly. Based on next week's episode, she tried to kiss him or whatever. He pulls his head away. Well, he kisses her, but not like a full-blown kiss. Pam ends up talking to Karen and asking if she'll be upset if Aaron invests the money into her business. She's like, no, why would I care and all this other stuff? You just made a whole big deal. Well, not a whole big deal, but you spoke on it, which means you bothered by it. I'm trying to figure out how do they have to tell you anything about Aaron and his money when this man over here trying to support both of the kids and you just treat him like the complete opposite of how she treats Zach, which is crazy. I know he was over here. He acted like she was the only one and all that other stuff and had this Jennifer lady that they completely forgot about, obviously. But with everything from season 1, Zach, about how he was study cheating on you. He almost got a lady pregnant. He gave you that stuff. That's what they said originally, y'all. But you over here treating this man like this. I was like, she was looking for an excuse. Then on next week's episode, he bringing a stroller, and she clearly bothered by that as well. And I was like, man. But yeah, Aaron ends up stopping by. Hold on, wait. Let me see if I skipped something. Aaron ends up stopping by, and he brings the baby some gifts and all this other stuff. He just so excited. And she was like, why you bring it here? I guess because she didn't want people to know about it. I mean, they knew about the baby, obviously, and that's what he was saying. And he was like, I thought you would have told people by now. And she was like, no, I'm not ready. I said, well, it's out there now. Everybody and their friend know. He ends up revealing that he signed them up or he got them a childbirth class. And she felt some type of way about that. She was like, why? And all this other stuff. And I was like, look, she gonna completely act like Zach, the father of both, for real, isn't she? And I was like, okay, she always being rude to him. Would she have that same energy for Zach if he was the one who came in with all these gifts? And if he was the one who was like, okay, I signed us up for a class. I doubt it, consider how she was all smiles when he was at the doggone hospital with her. But Pam ends up finding out about Aaron being the father of only one of the babies because she's standing up there eavesdropping. But now we get to the second part that got me. The second part where I was like, I was like, they ain't got no type of sister circle. But at the same time, somebody pointed out, and, we all been talking about this, about how they sister circle been kind of shaky or fake or whatever you want to call it since season 1, really. Maurice ends up saying something to indicate that Sabrina told him, and she was like, you're not supposed to say anything or whatever. You wasn't supposed to say anything. But can we be shocked considering they tell each other business? But yeah, she done told him, and he over here insulting Karen, saying little insulting stuff or whatever. And I was like, man, this sister circle ain't worth a darn. This is the sister circle that people like, okay, she need to be friends with Danny and she need to be friends with all these other folks. And I was like, no, a big old no. Granted, like a lot of friends tell each other everything, but she said she didn't want nobody to know she wasn't ready or whatever. I'll ask this question because this is Karen we're talking about. Do y'all think that if it was one of the other women in the sister circle that they would have said something? Probably so, because they tell each other business. Matter of fact, I think it was either season 1. I don't know what season it was, but Sabrina had told Maurice something she wasn't supposed to tell him before too. So this is clearly how they sister circle behave. Then you got Tony, y'all. He came over here trying to apologize to Danny, but did he really? He was like he was overreacting or whatever, but he mentions that he shouldn't have expected her to childproof. He said it in a way to let you know that he was still bothered by it. He mentioned about childproofing the place or whatever. And I said, I'm glad she caught that. And I'm glad, I said it before and I said it again. I love that she defends herself and she peeps game. But she ended up speaking on how he didn't give her any notice and she was doing him a favor. I said, right. But then the synopsis for next week's episode, I think that's the one. Let me see. I think it said something about she trying to figure out how to apologize to him. Then we're going to slide over here to Fatima. So Fatima was waiting on her first grade. Andy ends up coming in. I was like, hopefully, she did good. And it was just, how they combine clips. It wasn't that. She didn't fail. She failed. She got a D, y'all. And now she confiding in Angela about her situation. Angela ended up coming. I'm skipping ahead. But Angela ended up saying something about her friend owns or works for a nanny agency. And she going to get her in touch. I said, is that Deja? Because we seen the behind the scenes with Deja. I said, nah. Andy ends up revealing that she decided to testify against Gary. I said she better watch her back. Hayden came in and he was talking to us like he normally does. And I was like, you need to take your behind home. You need to take your behind home and see what these people up to. I was really hoping, one, that he came home, especially after hearing that man's voice. I know doggone well you heard his voice in the background. I know he heard that voice, man. Not to mention, you've been around this man so long, he talking about, so what did Gary say? He did that on purpose, too. But I was wondering, y'all know I've been saying, I was like, okay, maybe he got cameras, maybe he in on it too, maybe they trying to work Gary for some reason. I don't know. I was trying, y'all, but no. Based on what we've seen so far, no. Now we just gotta wait and see. But yeah, he ends up calling Tamara to check on her or whatever. And Gary talking about some wrap this up. Yeah, I said, I know he heard him. Not to mention, because I might forget this part. He smelled something. Hayden smelled something. He was like, smells like a man. I said, okay, he going in Gary's office next week. He should be able to tell that same smell and know what's up. And the other thing is Tamara over here, I thought, okay, she working him, she playing him or whatever. She over here talking about, so she just called and check on him or whatever. He said, this ain't that. He said, that ain't this and this ain't that. He said, I just basically just had sex with you or whatever. It ain't this. I don't got no feelings for you. He called her Warren out. He said that she was the 304. He just insulted her. And she said something about she's going to edit. She going to edit the recording. I said, but what you going to do with it though? But yeah, Hayden ended up asking Tamara what was that, and she was like, nothing. It was I think she said it was the TV or something. I said he should have got up. Couldn't have been no woman's intuition would have said, get up now. And I said that's crazy considering he be in everybody else's business, and this woman over here doing what she doing in the house. They ain't gonna have the audacity to say, cause Gary over here talking about he wasn't doing it in their bed, and she was like, that's disrespectful. You disrespectful. What? Jordan ends up asking Ethan, I wrote his name down finally, asking Ethan about information on Hudson. I thought they showed the preview and he was asking him for information on Andy. Sabrina ended up mentioning the two baby daddies and telling Karen, she gonna have a lot to deal with or whatever. And she was like, how did you find out? Danny, she's sick and tired of her or whatever. And they just, they need to reevaluate their whole sister circle. Cause what? Y'all need some new friends. But can we really expect anything different considering this is how we've seen them from the jump, telling each other business or whatever? But do y'all feel like because she said not to say anything or asked her not to say anything, that should have been respected? I know a lot of people been saying no because it's Karen. Fatima ended up telling Zach about her exam grade or whatever. And at first he was like, oh, it ain't no big deal. I used to get D's all the time or whatever. And I was like, no. I said, they be making progress. And then it's like the writers just completely abolished that whole thing or whatever. But then he was like, he'll take care of Micah or whatever and do this and do that. And I was like, yeah, this seems like it's going to continue to be a problem, y'all. Maybe with them hiring a nanny or whatever, it'll get easier. We'll see. Fatima ended up finding out that Michael wrote on her $5,000 purse or whatever. She was upset. She ends up leaving, and that's when she went to the bar or restaurant or whatever and met up with Angela, and that's when she told her about the nanny service. Danny's still going to therapy, y'all. Look, I said therapy must be helping her because Karen came over there or whatever. She confronted Danny, and she was like, okay, she don't know how they got to where they got to, but she thinks it's because Danny has changed. I said, in a sense, she right because Danny has changed. Danny's starting to speak up more. Danny always spoke up for herself, but she's starting to see that this sister circle full of freaking baloney, or Karen is. And Danny did not go off on her like I thought she was. She ended up calling her the B word. They just be over here throwing that word around like it's nothing. And we basically already talked about Fatima confiding in Angela about her grades, Zach, and the kids. And Angela was saying how, she needs to put herself first or consider herself. And that's when she said her girl got a nanny service or whatever. It's that where Deja comes in. Then Hayden gonna show up to the house. I said, you too late. You too late. I said, what you doing here now? I said, you too late, sir. But Samira was acting so suspicious, and he called her, but not enough to call her on it. He was saying stuff to her about it or whatever, but she was just like, no, I told you I'd never do that again and all this other stuff. I said, hey, then, come on now, come on. But yeah, he ends up saying how he smells something, smells like a man, but she twisted it to make it seem like, no, that wasn't it. That's some perfume I have and all this other stuff. He ends up noticing that she hid her phone. She was like, no, I'm not hiding my phone or whatever. And I said, come on now, Hayden. You can't be that whip. You can't be that whip, sir. They end up showing Sabrina and Rich again. Do y'all think they going with the storyline where he ends up having a baby with her or she ends up pregnant by him? Because the way they keep, every time they show them, they having sex. I'm like, man. And it had cut out during their scene or whatever. He started looking for something. I'm guessing he was looking for the condom or whatever. He ends up finding it. Later in the episode, he tells his boys, because I don't think I wrote that part down. He was saying how he felt like Sabrina was trying to trap him or whatever, but then he found it. It slipped off. I was like, she going to end up pregnant by this man. Can she end up pregnant even though she doing the fertility treatments right now? Karen ends up asking Pam and Sabrina if they are playing her baby shower. They agree. They were so excited or whatever. Karen was shocked like she wasn't expecting them to say yes. And we already talked about Samira over here calling Gary or whatever. And he told her this ain't that. But she said she finna edit the recording or whatever. I was like, but I still don't understand. Wouldn't that expose you? Hudson ends up calling Ethan, or Ethan called him, whichever way it went. And he tells him he got to bug the house or whatever, put it in the picture frame. So Jordan came back in and saw it. He saw him with the picture frame. So my guess is he's not going to see him with the little listening device or whatever they call it, because he's supposed to be close enough to slip something in his drink. But that's it, y'all. What did y'all think of the episode? I liked this episode. I did. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces. Have a great rest of the night and be safe.